Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another 10 pens currently inked this week. I think let's go through these one by one, go through them in a little bit more detail, and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right, we have a Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Goldfish. We have the Cypress, and this is the Maki-e Dragon. We have a Cypress Eggshell01. We have a Gilbert House pens, and this is the grey Box Elder Burl. We have another Gilbert House pens. This is the red Box Elder Burl. We have another Gilbert House pens, and this is the Amboyna Burl. We have a Morgan Wissa, and this is the orange golden leaf Urushi. We have a Ryan Crusack Legend 16 in the Koi. We have a Montegrappa, and this is the Game of Thrones Winter is Here Night King. And we have not a Game of Thrones, we have a Montegrappa, and this is the Pirate pen. So I think let's go through these pens in a little bit more detail. So the first pen here is a pen that I've had for some time. I say some time, it was last year that I purchased this pen, and it is the Cypress and it is the Maki-e Goldfish. I always loved this pen when I saw it on the Mr. Cypress website. It is a really beautiful pen. It's a little bit shorter and thinner than I'm normally liking, but it's a beautiful pen. I like it a lot. I like it because it reminds me of the Namiki Emperor Goldfish, and as much as I love a Namiki Emperor, and as much as I love the Namiki Emperor Goldfish, I just wouldn't want to pay, or wouldn't be able to pay. I can pay. I wouldn't want to pay that kind of money for a pen. So I bought this one instead, and this is a really beautiful, beautiful pen. So glad that I added this to my collection, although I do still wish it was a little bit on the larger side. I do have a Cypress nib, and that is a lovely Cypress nib there. Now, I got this in a medium nib, I think. Let me just double check that, because I have been getting different nib sizes more recently. Yep, it is a medium nib, and that is an 18 karat gold nib. Can I post the cap? I can, but I don't want to, because all of this Urushi, this Maki-e, is all raised, and I just wonder if I'm going to scratch that. So in my normal use of the pen, I don't post the cap. It's a cartridge converter pen there. Now you do have this extra sort of nib alignment unit here, this metal band. So rather than screwing the nib into the section, there's no threads in the section. But you screw it, this metal band here actually protrudes down into the section, and you screw the nib unit into this. Why? Purely because it allows you to align the nib to whatever part of the pattern in the pen that you so wish. So for me, I think that is quite an ingenious design. I don't know if Mr. Cypress were the first to come up with that design, but it's the only one I've seen thus far. So I want to say yes, it was purely Cypress that came up with that design, but I'm sure it was somebody else. But it's a great design to be able to align the nib to the pattern. Now, this pen was a pen I bought over the Christmas period last year, and I saw this on Boxing Day. It went live, and I just knew that I had to buy this. So again, this is another Cypress pen. It's a Maki-e Dragon, and this really is a beautiful work of art. I thought the Goldfish was really nice. This is, I want to say, 10 times nicer. It's not, but it's just the amount of intricate detail on this pen. It really is good, and I would have loved to have seen this on an oversized pen, a much larger canvas. But again, like I saw this and I just had to buy it. So for me, I bought this very quickly. and these sold out very quickly as well. I've even got a dragon nib there from Cypress as well. And I know I asked Celine at the time at Cypress, any chance I can get a broad nib? If not, I'll go for a medium nib. And she came through with the broad nib for me. Very glad that I got the broad nib. The cap can post again, but I just am worried about marring that finish. The section on the pen, if I unscrewed that from the body, again, you see that nib alignment tool there, and then you've got a standard international converter, just a Schmidt K5 converter. But it's a decent size in my hand. It's not an oversized pen, maybe slightly, but not massively. I think it's about bordering on oversize, but it's just a beautiful pen. I love this redness here on the golden dragon, the silver clouds. It's just insanely Maki-e'd by the artisan. The next pen I have inked up this week is a pen that I've had inked up a lot. It's the Cypress Eggshell01. And typically, if you look at the size comparison difference, these Eggshell01s are the size I really prefer the most. About 150 millimeters long, maybe 140 to 155 I'm happy with. And also sort of a 15 to a 16 millimeter diameter of the body or the cap, again, I am happy with. But you can see this Eggshell 01 Warden is just a beautiful pen. So you've got a black ebonite base, like all of these typically are. You've got the crushed duck's eggs here that you've got on the flat top of the cap finial, and also the blind cap as well. Black, and then you've got these abalone strips of Warden there. Beautiful pen, loving it a lot. Slight sort of speckled section there, and I have a Cypress, and this is the 14 karat gold broad nib. Actually, I want to say broad. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure actually that might even be a medium, because these were. Yeah, it is a medium. I remember I was buying mediums to start with for quite some time. And I just, on the last couple of Cypress pens, I've gone for broads. You can't post the cap, but it's a decent length. As I said, it's about 150 millimeters long in terms of the whole pen. So for me, that is a decent size there. And you can kind of see a size sort of going on here with all of these pens, because all of these are about 150 millimeters long. The next pen I picked up at the picked it up at the London Pen Show in March this year, and this is the Gilbert House pens, and it's the grey Box Elder Burl, and it's just a beautiful pen. It's a lot of grey with wood, some really dark grey. So it's a hybrid, resin wood hybrid material. And I just love these materials. And I love what Brad does here is he continues the section down as well. So you've got this greyness here. I've got a broad Yovo steel nib on this one. I could have gone with any nib. Brad has, I think, most of the nib widths available. He does Yovo and he does Bock nibs and Cypress nibs as well. You can't post the cap. Again, it's not designed really to be posted. Has a standard international Schmidt K5 converter. ABS plastic feed, like most of these. But it's a nice length in my hand. So for me, this is a really, really lovely size of pen. At the same time, at the London Pen Show, I picked up this one. And this is the Gilbert House pens. And this is the Red Box Elder Burl. And again, I like this material. And strangely enough, I saw this one, the Amboyna Burl, on Brad's Instagram page, and I said that I'm sure it's sold, but if it hasn't, I'll take it. And he said, well, it's not sold, but I kind of have something in mind for you. And he showed me the rods of the red pen, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I'll take that one as well. And I didn't know what it was going to look like until I think it was maybe a few days before the show. He showed me, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely taking the red one. So beautiful. I love the red. I love that it's got some of this white in here as well. So again, it's another hybrid wood resin pen. And again, Brad has continued that red theme onto the section. Now, this has a Bock broad steel nib on this one. Two-tone. I kind of like that two-tone mix with the red. I think the yellow gold goes quite nicely. And again, it's a Schmidt K5 International converter there. So about 0.7 milliliters of ink that these international converters will hold. It's a decent size in my hand. Again, I can't post the cap. Well, actually, okay, maybe I can. It's really not going to post very deeply, though. It just posts onto the end. And again, it's not designed to be posted, so I wouldn't normally post that cap. I'd be more worried about that cap flying off when I'm writing with it. And you don't want to be that person. So I've seen so many caps that are broken, cap bands that are broken, because people have dropped their pens, they've dropped the cap, it's rolled off of the desk, that kind of thing. The next pen it inked up is this one, and this was the pen that I saw on his Instagram feed. Again, Gilbert House pens, Brad. This is an Amboyna Burl, and I just love the colour on here. I like this got some redness here in around some of those knots in the wood. Really, really beautiful, beautiful material. Again, a flat top. It's the Homerton model, and if I unscrew the section, it's got a I think it's a red dragon, if I recall correctly. And it's diamond cast material section there, which again I think contrasts quite nicely with that Amboyna Burl. Now I did get a Cypress nib on here. Brad, every time I have bought a pen from him, he said, "Do you want a Cypress nib on it?" And I'm like, "Well, I've actually got quite a lot of Cypress pens, but I did give in this time." And I said, "Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's give me a Cypress nib, because I think that would also the two-tone look nice on this pen." And again, that's a broad nib. The converter there, it's standard international Schmidt K5 converter. So again, 0.7 milliliters of ink, but it's a decent size in my hand. I was going to try and post it, and I knew I was going to drop that. You cannot post that cap. Again, not designed to be done so. But like I said earlier, you don't want to be that person dropping the cap. And I was. But thankfully, it was only onto a couple of other pens on my tray. It wasn't very far. But if you were to drop this on a hard floor, like I don't know, maybe a tiled floor, you're going to probably regret that. The next pen inked up was a pen. It's a custom-made pen by Morgan. I want to say Wisser, maybe Wisser. He's a French artisan, and he's making some beautiful, beautiful pens. So this is a Urushi orange gold leaf pen. It's absolutely stunning. Now, I picked this up from John at St. John's Pens, and strangely enough, I was looking at the time at some Ryan Crusack pens, and one of John's helpers that I have seen a lot at the UK pen shows or London pen shows over the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years, she was saying, "Come on, Dave, what's the pen that you really want to walk away with today?" And I was like, "Well, I really want a Ryan Crusack." And she said, no, come on. And I was like, "Well, if I had the option, I would walk away with this pen." And in the end, I was able to do a deal with John. So very glad. Thank you, John, for that. This has a Bock number 6 size nib. Now, I knew this when I bought it, and I nearly thought, well, maybe I won't buy it. It's got a music nib on it. And I'm not normally into music nibs. I'm not now normally into wider stub nibs, but I love this nib. If I unscrew the section, the body here, again, a standard international Schmidt K5 converter there, but lots of threads as well. But this nib is very, very bouncy. Could I post a cap? Yeah, I can do. I'm not going to. This material, this Urushi lacquer, the way that it's been, I won't say crafted, the way it's been applied is just amazing. And honestly, I am so in awe that I picked up this pen. And you can see Morgan's signature there as well. Beautiful pen. Really, really glad that I could add that one to my collection. It makes me want to have some more pens from Morgan, because those, from what I've seen, some of the other pens that he's made are really, really nice looking pens. And I mentioned that I was on the lookout for a Ryan Crusack, and there were several there. There were some samurais, and then there was this one. And partly because it's got a koi on it, a fish. It's hand painted, which you don't see massively from Ryan Crusack now that since he's injured his shoulder, and he's got some nerve damage going on. But the cap also was really what sold it to me. Beautiful coloured cap. So I looked at this one, and you can see here it's 33 of 150 there. So I'm glad that I added this one to my collection. I think I probably paid a little bit more than I should have done. It's a Legend 16 though. It's hand painted. It's lacquered on top. I love this green section to go with like the green leaves. And I've got a Ryan Crusack Yovo steel nib, but this I thought initially was a broad nib, but it's actually a double broad there. So, again, I'm absolutely loving this nib. I've got a few double broads in my nibs in my collection. I think some of them are gold, some of them are... Actually, I think they're all gold, actually. Oh, no, maybe 23 cat palladium. But this is a steel nib, but I am really, really loving that. And if I unscrew the body, again, a standard international Schmidt K5 converter there. Not a lot of threads actually on that section, but I'm loving this pen. I'm loving writing with it. So again, it does take a lot to screw down. Can I post a cap? No, it's not designed to be posted, but it's a big boy pen. So I like these Legend 16s, and it actually feels quite substantial in the hand. I want to say weighty, but weighty is probably the wrong word to use. But that is a stunner of a pen. Now, the next pen I've got inked up, again, is a pen I've had inked up for a little bit now, again, is the Montegrappa Game of Thrones Winter is Here Night King pen. And this is an insane amount of detail. In license with Game of Thrones, you've got a ice breathing dragon here for the clip, and that ice wraps round the sort of cap band, or what would be a cap band there. It's sterling silver lost wax casting, so all of this overlay is sterling silver. Amazing, and it is amazingly heavy as well. But I absolutely love this pen, still love it. You would think that this is really uncomfortable to write with, but it is not. It is very comfortable. It's a piston filling pen, and if I unscrew the cap there, the section is a little bit on the thinner side. and you've only got a number 6 size medium 18 karat gold nib there. You could post the cap. I'm not going to do so because I think it will ultimately snap that off over time. It's a lovely pen though. Very glad I added that to my collection. That was a couple of years ago, I think now. That was one of my birthday pens. And the next pen is this year's birthday pen, which, again, a little bit over the top, but this is the Montegrappa, and I always want to call this the Game of Thrones, but it's not. It's the Pirate pen. I probably should call it Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, but it is just a pirate's pen. But you'll see here, you've got the pirate hat here, you've got the pirate skull, and you've got this long sword here. Now, a lot of people are going to say that sword, there's no way that sword can be functional. But look at this. If you tilt the head back, oh yeah, that clip is functional. It's got a huge amount of detail. Again, it's a lost wax casting over celluloid. So there's a lot of sterling silver here. There's also obviously gold accents. You've got the pirate skull there as well. It's just an amazing detail of pen there. And I want to say, is that a serpent? No, a mermaid actually. Yeah, it is a mermaid. Look at that. Really beautiful. There's a dagger here as well. It's just an amazing pen. So again, I was really glad I was able to add this one to my collection as well. And if I unscrew the cap, again, slightly thinner section there. It's a piston filling pen. Number 6 size, smaller nib there. I say smaller. When was number 6 size nibs actually considered small? Normally number 5, 4s or 3s are small. But it's crying out like the Game of Thrones really for a number 8 nib. But there's no way that you could do it with the thickness or thinness of that section there. And it's a medium 18 karat gold nib. And again, could I post that cap? I can. I'm not going to, because again, I think the weight of that cap is going to, over time, snap that piston knob off. And I kind of wish that, I understand why Montegrappa did it, but I kind of wish that they didn't make it postable, because I think they're just opening themselves up to people coming back maybe under warranty or outside of warranty, saying the piston knob snapped off. So I don't know as of yet anyone that has experienced that. And they probably won't, because a lot of people are probably not going to post that cap. However, I do still think it's a risk. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up is the Cypress Maki-e Goldfish. So we will do an ink swatch to start with. And I do love the ink in this pen. I think it's a perfect match. So this is the Cypress Maki-e Goldfish. And as I mentioned earlier on, it's a medium, and it's an 18. I think it's an 18. Let me double check that again. Yeah, 18 karat gold nib. It's only because I've got quite a few 14 karat golds. The ink in here today is Robert Oster, and it is gold Antiqua. And I know, I think it was end of last year, I decided to buy another bottle of that, and I think I've been using it a lot. I may have to buy another bottle. The next pen is the Cypress Maki-e Dragon. So again, we'll do an ink swatch here. And again, beautiful ink. So this is the Cypress, Maki-e, Dragon, and this is a broad 18 karat gold nib, but I don't know, I would say that really writes a little bit more like the medium, so I'm kind of glad that I went for the broad, even though like the medium could have been finer, I guess. And then the ink in here, it's actually again the same ink, Robert Oster Gold Antiqua, and I had actually put I think it was Muddy Bucket in there before, and as much as I was liking Muddy Bucket, I decided that I would actually I prefer to have Gold Antiqua in there, so I did put that in there. The next pen inked up is the Cypress Eggshell01, so we'll do an ink swatch here. And I do like this nib. Again, this is, I think, I'm going to double check. I think this is a 14 karat gold. Yeah, 14 karat gold nib. So this is the Cypress. And it is the Eggshell 01 in a medium 14 karat gold nib. And I would say this feels, when you're writing with it, a little bit more on the broader side. And then the ink in here is Pilot Oroshizuku Aji Say, and I think I might have to get another bottle of ink of that as well, because that is an ink that I really do like a lot. And I just want to show you the ink bottle there. It's hard to show it on camera, but there's not, I don't know, it's about a fingerful of ink. 1, 2, 3, 4. So probably about a quarter of the bottle left on that. So I'm going to have to buy another bottle soon. The next pen inked up is the Gilbert House pens, and this is the grey Box Elder Burl. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And I do find this ink in here, it's a lovely ink, but I do find it dries out quite quickly. Now, I don't think that's because of the cap. I think it's just the nature of the ink. So this is the Gilbert House pens, and it's the grey Box Elder Burl, and it's a broad and it's a steel Yovo nib, and the ink in here is Mont Blanc, and it's the Spider Web grey, which you'll see to start with comes out quite dark, and then it gets a little bit lighter as you write with it. If it hasn't been written for a while, it will go back to its normal colour. The next pen inked up is the Gilbert House pens, and this is the red Box Elder Burl. So we'll do an ink swatch on this one as well. Now, this one I wanted to put Diamond Poppy Red in here, but I decided I would avoid doing so. Not because I dislike it, it's just that I've been using that a little bit more recently. So this is the Gilbert House pens, and it's the red Box Elder Burl, and again it's a broad and it's a steel nib, and the ink in here is actually Diamine Passion Red, and I have to say I am liking that red ink. It's a little bit between Diamine Poppy Red and maybe Diamine Wild Strawberry. Very nice coloured ink. The next pen inked up is the Morgan Wisser, and this is the orange gold leaf Urushi. And we'll do an ink swatch here. Now, it is, as I mentioned, a music nib, so you can get quite a bit of a line variation going on here. Now, I've got it inked up with this sort of, I want to say orange ink. It's really a little bit more orangey red. So this is the Morgan Wisser, and it's the orange gold leaf Urushi, and it's a music nib, and it's, let me double check, I think it's 18 karat gold. Actually 14 karat gold, and that might actually be a good reason why it's quite bouncy. Now, the ink in here, I have put KWZ, and it's grapefruit. And as much as I love KWZ grapefruit, and I love it in this pen, I kind of keep thinking about putting the Sailor Gentle Apricot in there, because I think that would also be another good colour. The next pen inked up is the Gilbert House pens, and this is the Ambia Burl. And I think I got these two the wrong way, but that doesn't matter. We'll do an ink swatch here. And this is quite a darker brown. So this is the Gilbert House pens, and it's the Amboyna Burl, and it is a broad, it's a steel Cypress nib, and the ink in here is Diamine Chocolate. It's a nice darker brown coloured ink. I probably will put a lighter brown ink in that eventually. The next pen inked up is the Ryan Crusack Legend 16 in the Koi. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And I was going to put this ink in that pen, but I didn't want to put another two pens inked up with the same ink. So this is the Ryan Crusack Legend 16 in the Koi, and it's a double broad steel nib, but I do like that nib. The ink in here is Diamine, and it is Tobacco Sunburst, which honestly I think would also be a nice match for the Ambia Burl pen as well, but maybe eventually I will put that in there. The next pen inked up is the Game of Thrones from Montegrappa. Winter is Here, Night King. So we'll do an ink swatch again. And I always have this inked up with the same ink. Shoot me, kill me, whatever. I just love inking this pen up with this ink. So this is the Montegrappa Game of Thrones Winter is Here. I'm going to run out of space if I'm not careful. I'm not going to get Night King on there. It's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey. Yeah, I could have gone with a lighter grey ink for this pen, maybe to match the celluloid or the sterling silver, but I know that this ink is very well behaved, very easy to clean as well. And then the last pen inked up this week is the Montegrappa Pirate. And again, another elaborate pen. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And this one is running out. So I'm going to need to ink this one back up again. So we'll do an ink swatch. But again, this is a beautiful ink. I just love this ink a lot. So this is the Montegrappa. And it is the Pirates pen. And it's a medium and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And this nib just writes wonderfully. Same as the Game of Thrones as well. And then the ink in here is Diamine Earl Grey. And I just... As much as I have quite a few more grey inks, I can't see myself inking either of these pens up with anything else. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. So we have the Cypress Maki-e Goldfish in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. We have a Cypress Maki-e Dragon in a broad 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. We have a Cypress Eggshell01 in a medium 14 karat gold nib inked up with Pilot Roshizuku Aji Sei. We have a Gilbert House Pens Grey Box Elder Burl in a broad steel nib inked up with Mont Blanc Spider Web Grey. We have a Gilbert House Pens, and this is the Red Box Elder Burl in a broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Passion Red. We have a Morgan Wisser Orange Gold Leaf Urushi with a Music 14 karat gold nib inked up with KWZ Grapefruit. We have a Gilbert House Pens Amboyna Burl in a broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Chocolate. We have a Ryan Crusac Legend 16 Koi in a double broad steel nib inked up with Diamine Tobacco Sunburst. We have a Montegrappa Game of Thrones Winter is Here Night King in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Earl Grey. And then last but not least, we have a Montegrappa Pirate in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up again with Diamine Earl Grey. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.